Alright, so today I'm going to show you the beginning of how to make the coaster and box set. We're going to work with plastic canvas with a simple stitch, and I'll show you how to do a proper bag. So let's put these aside and we'll start on the basics. Now, this is the type of plastic canvas that you need. This is what's called a 7 count. This is because there are 7 little squares per inch. Now, there are different counts of plastic canvas. Here, for this one is a 10 count, I'm sorry. So you see how small those holes are in comparison to the 7 count? This is the needle we use for 7 count. If you try and use it for a 10 count, it won't even begin to go through. But as you can see, right here, it goes through quite easily with a 7 count. Now that's also very important because you'll need your wool. Now these are the wools that we'll be using and the colors. This design has 4 colors, as you can tell from these pre-done ones. Now, for the front and the back, we'll need the gray and the yellow, and the black and white is found in all of them. What we'll be doing was mainly on black and white. So, let's begin. Let's just move these aside for now. We'll pull them out when we need them again. So, oh yes, also you need a wastebasket. There's a lot of scraps to be thrown out. Okay, let's put those aside. Here, grab your scissors. Any scissors will do. You can get special ones for plastic canvas or just the ones you use in your kitchen. Just make sure they're sharp. This is the plastic canvas sheet that you'll be getting. It's a bit smaller and you'll be cutting these out of it. Now, I'm lucky and I have one already pre-made, so I can just line it up and cut them out. If you want to follow along, this is a 39 by 30 coaster. It's fairly large for a coaster, and I'll explain to you the numbering in a second. So when you're finished cutting it out, you'll notice that some of the edges will be really smooth and others not so much. You need them to be extremely smooth. So take your scissors. This is when you need them to be sharp, and just cut off all the edges that might stick out once you start whip stitching it at the end. Now, my coasters almost never have a straight corner. This one has a very simple staircase pattern. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to cut out a 2x1 rectangle and then a 1x1 square in each corner. Now you also have to make sure that you remain extremely diligent on how neat the actual fabric is that you're cutting, so that when you whip stitch it, it's fine. So let's look at the pattern. Now this is a pattern I made for the front, the back, and the coaster. Again, we're mainly worried about the coaster. So as you can, well, no, you can't tell, but there are lines. I didn't exactly center it, but it's actually 31 the squares. So on a 40, that would be a 4 and a 5. You want to center your squares. Therefore, I removed one and I centered them with 4 on one side, 4 on the other. Now you also have to center your letters via your squares. Locked was fine. It was really easy. It's one in. But I am is actually a little bit over to the side on the M. But it would have been fine had I actually left 3 between. That was a creative choice. I didn't like it. So let's move on. I'll start with showing you how to make the squares. Now cut your piece of material, piece of wool. Now I like it 3 forearms length. You can make it any length you want. Thread your needle and we'll start. Now let's pull out the pattern again. Okay, so as you can tell, it's 4 from the side, and now from the base it's going to be 11 up. So it's actually on the 12th one that you're going to start putting your stitching. So count your little centers and put your needle through at the 12th mark. That's going to be your top. So now you're going to be shown how to do the tails. I'm really anal about my tails. You don't want knots. You want a nice flat pattern. So here, let me show you how to do that. Now all of your stitches are going to be little diagonal lines from one corner to of a 4x4 square to the other. So now you're going to put it, the back's going to be a straight line. So then you put it up and it's going to snag onto your tail. So you do another diagonal, and then again you put your needle through the hole right above where you pulled it through, and you just keep doing that. My squares are 7x7, so you do it 7 times. Now that that's done, the tail is actually embedded and it's not going to go anywhere, and it's really flat. So to go down one, you're just going to continue your lines. You pull your needle through one square below, then you go one square down, one square over, and you continue doing this. Now, I'm not actually going to do this entire like 4 squares because I'm actually doing this one with some writing in the middle. For any Sherlock Holmes fans, you'll know what it is. But here's one I've done previous. Let me just put my needle back on. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to tie in your tail. It's very similar to the beginning. You're going to push your needle through the little loops that your thread creates. Whoops. And push it through again. You're just going to keep doing that, and it's going to be really easy. Now you're going to pull and cut. So now you have part of it done. So next time I'm going to show you how to put the I am locked on, and I hope you enjoyed the beginning tutorial. Have a good day.